I do. I live my dreams and visions purposefully. I enjoy and live every moment in love and at peace. I seek good in all things. I'm content and satisfied. I deeply enjoy my life and relationship. The wholesome life and personal power. I respect and honor myself and therefore attract only respect and honor. I live a life of dignity. I have true happiness, peace, tranquility, and joy. I'm confident and passionate. I am secure and fulfilled. I am beautiful. I am free and I'm alive. My price is far above rubies. I am the ultimate virtuous woman. I live to love and I love to live today and every day.
How do I make you a co-host? Let me.
Click on my name.
Eh,
Then look at the option beside it.
he was only telling me to change host.
Change host first. Let me see. Make me host. Let me see if I can do it from my end.
I don't know, bro. But Botswana has more energy. Exactly. It's kind of funny sometimes, bro, because I'll just be there, like, making fun of her because she could, like, she.
Can you make me host?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
Actually, can you believe that he didn't even know it? I don't think he did, bro. Yeah.
It's not showing. It's supposed to. I should be able to. Let me see.
So annoying that thinking I'm gonna replace me, bro. Exactly. It's so annoying. It could be anyone. There's so many smart people, bro. And then it's in the end.
Before you still there too again. Heritage. I have never ever heard of thing like that began. He has never ever changed. He's the same today, just as he was yesterday. Miracle. Goodness, favor, mercy, sure. My brother, tell me what you want. He'll give you everything you want. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to my live. You're welcome to the webinar, to 1 hour Q&A. Yes, we got answering everybody's everything on the group. Please make it a webinar. Let's give 2 more minutes. I need everyone here to go to the group and drop messages, tell people to join. You may want to share on your status. Let's invite people in. Welcome, Gloria. You're welcome, Susie. You're welcome, Adeyemi. Han, you're welcome. Sonia Lawson, you're welcome. Okay, Sonia, you're at work. No problem.
7.
Manifesting for my life. Manifesting for my life. Everything I've been wanting. We got 2 minutes more. Can we go to the group and tell people to join? Money, testimony. Could they follow, yeah, maybe they go. Good news, giant, plenty money. Could they follow, yeah, they go. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for your life. Even before you call me, no man shall be. I'm about to shine your feet for your head. Even before you call me, no man shall be. All right, you are welcome, everyone. For those who are just meeting me for the first time, if you were not part of last week's webinar, my name is Rachael Badejo, and I'm your host for tonight. If this was TikTok now, I'll be able to clap for myself and scream, but Zoom is boring. Let's give it to them. Let's manage it like that. Okay, I would like us to, if you have a question, ground rules, you just raise up your hand. If you want to type it in the chat ahead of time, first come, first serve, so that I can just pick from the chat and I would pick the questions in order of whoever it is that drops their question first. So if you're more comfortable with unmuting yourself and talking, please go ahead. I just want to answer basic questions of people today. And one important thing is I've been seeing similar questions. Why am I applying back to back and I'm not getting responses? People have been asking what's the difference between MVQ and just this ordinary diploma. Most of those diplomas that you do for £25, £50, £30, that you just speak on one online website and you do, they are called CPD accredited programs. So if you check your certificate, you would see CPD under it as the accrediting body. So it's just a continuous development certification. While the real NVQ, most times it's always from a government regulated body, and one of those government regulated body was the OFCAL that somebody was asking about yesterday. So I'm waiting. Nobody is asking me any question. No. Nobody is asking any question. I am waiting. Can I give referral for NVQ? Yes, I can give referral for NVQ. There's an organization that we work together that can actually they are certified government assessor that would give you your NVQ certificate, and NVQ is depending on how long you're able to work on it. You can finish it in 3 months, you can finish in 6 months. So we have it's a government regulated body, and when you're ready, just let me know. I can give you referral for NVQ. And if you're a busy person and you need support, they also have a package for people who do not have the time to go through the rigorous 6 months training, because you have to do assessments, you have to do exams. It's different from just those online CPD courses. So yes, I can give referral for them. I was a medical laboratory scientist. That's Han. Han says I was a medical laboratory scientist from Nigeria. I am now HCPC registered in the UK. But it's like I can't find any NHS job. I have done many applications, but I've not even got one interview at least. Is there something I'm doing wrong? Han, if you want to unmute your mic, if you don't mind, but if you can't, maybe because you can't talk where you are, you could just answer me quickly in the chat box. For how long have you been trying this application, and what visa are you on currently? Or
Yeah,
let
I'm presently on student visa, and I've been trying since last year August.
Oh, so if you have been trying since last year August, then something is wrong. There's something wrong in how you have been applying. So far, do you have idea of how many applications you have done so far?
I think it will be nothing less than 20 applications.
20 applications.
Yeah, so I just assume maybe because I'm a student or something. I don't know. I've not been getting any feedback since.
So for those who were in my 3 days workshop that we did Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the first day we focused fully on strategy, because there's an adage that says if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So there's actually a process that, well, I came up with it myself. I didn't learn it from anybody. But you see, this process, this strategy that I take people through, it's more or less like a fail-proof process. If you start with the right strategy and you're not just applying randomly, you set up a tracker. I showed the people in that paid workshop the tracker. I even gave some of them the templates for that's the people who were in the VIP class. And when you go through that process, first of all, as a student, if your purpose should first be that I just want to set my foot into NHS first. And so while you're working your 20 hours, you're targeting that let me do this 20 hours in NHS, any role. So maybe you have been trying to look for a role in this your certified something, this your HCPC that you spoke about, and maybe you are even applying for full-time roles, and because you can only work 20 hours. So their ATS system, ATS is called applicant tracking system. It automatically sieves out a candidate that they don't want, that doesn't meet their minimum requirements. And so even if the roles you have been applying for are 20 hours roles, are part-time roles, there's also something, but for your specialty, I don't know. I don't know if you would actually be able to get that kind of job that would allow you work for just 20 hours. Hi, Susie. That will allow you work for just 20 hours. Do you understand? But for somebody in your situation, I usually say step your foot into NHS with any kind of role first, even if it's a cleaning role. If I was showing them at the workshop, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, some roles that you can't even imagine, even if it is just going into the NHS as a volunteer for a start. And if I start sharing my screen now, we are going to exceed 1 hour. I know. So let me not share my screen. There were some roles that volunteer roles. That if you are a barber, they are looking for barber volunteers. Different things. So the idea for what I would always advise a student is, because you're limited to just 20 hours, set your foot into NHS with any possible job role first. And secondly, your certification shows that you're not in the general pool. So you have a high tendency to get called for interviews fast or faster if you're doing it the right way. Because the bulk of people that are applying into NHS now are applying for healthcare assistant, even though government has said they are scrapping that visa, people are still trying to rush without any strategy, without any accurate plan. So you may need to look into those things. And number three, you may need to get help. You may need to get help. So I have different programs that you can come on board for, depending on what level and what stage you are. You may say, okay, you know what, Rachel, I just want you to help me go through my track system, help me set it up. And what I do is, with £150, I set up your track system. I apply for 2 job roles for you, and I give you support at least for a duration of about 60 days till you are able to start getting interviews. So when I set up these supporting statements, everything, puts your track in space. So it's more or less like a template for you already. So that when you are applying for jobs, you're just going to edit a few details that is specific to that particular, maybe your paragraph, the paragraph in your supporting statement is, I'm applying for healthcare support worker role at Kent NHS Trust, and now you want to apply for Manchester NHS Trust. You understand? So that is how I get your track ready. And I have a one-on-one session with you together in that package. Another option is, if you're up to it, come on board for the Done For You services, where I take you on a 3-month contract, I take over your track account from you, and I apply for you back to back to back using the fail-proof system that I have used to get many people interviews. And one thing I can say is that within those 3 months, you're going to get interviews. You are going to get interviews. What I promise people is definitely you get interviews, but I don't promise you the job, because I will not enter your interview room with you. But part of that package is that I take you through interview sessions before you go for your interview, so that you enter into your interview with a level of confidence. Thank you for your time. Who is asking again? I think Susie is the next person.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. I wanted to, you mentioned something that caught my attention, that the healthcare assistant is going to be scrapped soon.
Yeah.
And so what about those people that are applying for those roles now? Healthcare assistant under NHS. Will it be scrapped off when they're already in NHS?
Okay, one thing I know about government policies so far in this UK, I am not an immigration advisor, so I cannot say
categorically.
Yeah, this is a major disclaimer. I can't say this is what the government is going to do. I do not have the right to do that. But I can only tell you the pattern I've seen so far. That, okay, when you're already in the system with this, at least you're there till it elapses. And because the government is really hammering on immigrants now, the loads of healthcare support workers, and they have said it boldly that they don't rate healthcare support workers, healthcare assistants, that they are salary earners, they are just coming with dependents, they are not paying for IHS and all of that. So I don't know if you'll be able to change employer by the time it is finally scrapped. So if you are stuck with maybe a toxic boss, even within the NHS, I'm not sure you would be able to swap. So I tell people, that was one of the things I teach in my paid workshop. The first day, strategy. Even if you get into the NHS now, what is your strategy to move up? You don't just sit down and relax and say, now I've finally gotten job. within the NHS. I'm finally healthcare assistant. Like for those who came into the free webinar last week, one of the things that I said was that the privilege, I'm going to scrap this part out of this recording by the time I want to post the replay, that we had the privileged information that within the NHS, they are not even, like the government has told them, they are not even waiting till 2028. They are, they set that particular job role, especially for those, okay, their own, for some trusts, their own nursing as their own healthcare assistants, who they call them nursing assistants. And we had this privileged information from this HR manager that they are going to actually stop that role by December.
Healthcare assistant, is it different from healthcare support?
It's the same thing. Healthcare
same.
support worker, healthcare assistant, nursing assistant. They are
Yeah,
the same job.
the same job. Okay.
It's the name that is different. So, like I said, it is not whatever information I'm giving right now.
Yeah,
I'm not laying claims on it. I'm not saying it's the.
yeah, it's the final stuff. It's just you're sharing your views.
You just need to have the right strategy at this point in time. So, I don't know what visa you're currently on,
Postgraduate visa.
postgraduate. So, you actually need to have a clear strategy. And I tell people there are so many job roles, even on that track.com.
Yeah.
There are some sections that people don't click on when they are looking for jobs. So it's the general role
Healthcare.
that over 10,000 people are looking for. It's everybody's just, rushing inside
One
it,
direction.
inside that one direction. And there are many roles, many roles. There are roles for smoke advisor, like somebody to advise people to stop smoking.
Okay.
There are roles within the NHS that are also that band 3, but people are not applying. There are some of these roles that if you just go and check your read carefully at the person specification, these roles do not even require you having NVQ. Although, of course, if you have NVQ, it sets you ahead, They would pick someone who has NVQ over you who doesn't.
Okay, so sorry, just one last question. So, they sponsor only from band 3 in NHS?
Most NHS now, most NHS. In fact, many NHS have even said they sponsor from band 4.
Oops.
I was one of the clients on my Done For You services. I was trying to apply for a job for him this morning. This job is sweet, it's not a job role that is very popular. And I was excited as I was feeling, because one thing I do is before I click on apply, I read some basic details.
Okay.
And at the last paragraph, they wrote it there specifically that we sponsor visas in this trust, but only for roles that require the kind of accreditation that Han mentioned.
Okay, is it HCPC something?
Yeah, as in roles that require professional registration.
Registration, yeah.
So automatically they are telling you we will not sponsor for this role because that particular role
doesn't have it. Yeah.
So they were not particular whether it is a band 3 or a band 4, but
let it be those professional registration stuff.
For that role to require that kind of thing, they see that it is. So now, because unlike 2022, when the jackpot thing, when the rush was there, and they had a major need. So it's like person that is hungry, it would take anything. They were sponsoring people from Nigeria, from all over the world, but now they are overwhelmed. So I tell people, any tiny mistake, you go to the bottom line in the ATS tracking system. If you make a mistake with your address alone, if you like, apply 1,000 times. That may be the only reason why you are on the bottom of the queue. Do you understand? So if you're one of the things I taught people during the paid workshop.
Yeah.
In fact, we used 2 days for supporting statements. It was that thick. We used 2 days for supporting statement because when I come here and I tell people that there are applications I use 24 hours, there are applications I use I've only had one experience. I used 24 hours on a particular role, and he got the job. But he decided, because I tell people, when you sit down with your supporting statements and you go through the person specification one after the other, it is tiring. I had to show them the back end of my husband's track. At least I cannot fake that one. We are live. I was clicking on the website, they are seeing it. And I showed them the back end.
Mhm.
Imagine just 32 applications and 5 offers. And there are people who have applied for over 100 applications and they've not gotten one interview, not to talk of job.
Yeah.
So it's about the right strategy.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, you want me to clarify my paid packages? Okay, I'll do that definitely before we finish. Do I offer interview prep, mock interview preparation? Yes, I do that also. I do that. Okay, so for my paid packages, right? Like I said, I have a package that is £150. And in this package, what I do is I take charge of your track account. I review your CV. I didn't prepare slides, so I would have shown it on my screen. I'm sorry. I prepare your track account. I review your CV and make it ATS standard. ATS means Applicant Tracking System. Can you repeat after me? Applicant Tracking System.
Applicant tracking system.
Yes. So it is as basic as it is ATS. And so this ATS is the, would I say the AI or the automation tracking system that NHS and most HR managers in other organizations, not only NHS and not only within the UK. So this is the system they use to first sieve out a lot of people from the pool. So imagine how many people are in this WhatsApp group now looking for jobs. I did not run paid ads for this particular WhatsApp group. It was just 4 or 5 friends posting on their WhatsApp status. Do you get what I'm saying? I did not run adverts. I didn't post video on any platform. It was just me saying, you know what? I want to teach people for free. Oh yeah, come, join me. And that. Now imagine the thousands of people out there that are also applying, looking for how to get into the NHS, looking for how to get a job. And so the system is overwhelmed. NHS has contracted their that process out to the likes of Track. And so the system Track uses to first sieve out people that do not even meet up with the basic essential criteria in that application is the ATS tracking system. So if ATS tracking system, ATS is not human being, you cannot bribe him. It's not emotional. Do you get? ATS cannot say, you know what, please help me. ATS will not do that for you. So I make your CV, your track, everything ATS standard. I go through your track account or whatever platform it is you're using for your NHS application. I go through it from your profile and I sit down with 2 different job roles. So for hand, for example, I can pick a job role that is maybe medical laboratory assistant and also healthcare assistant. So I would apply for those 2 job roles for you. And I will also have a session with you to help you understand the things you were doing wrong and the things you can start doing right. And I now offer one, by the time you have started applying yourself, I offer you one interview prep by the time you get an interview and you need help to go through, oh, I'm scared. They finally called me for interview. What should I say? I'll definitely help you through that. I'll book an appointment with you on a day to say, okay, this is what you can do, this is what we can do. So that is that on that. Then the DFY, the done for you services, is just as its name implies, done for you. You don't have time. You are not, this thing is overwhelming. Rachel, just take my account, apply for me. So what I do is you create a totally new, the same account, right? But you change your email address. So for data protection, I don't have access to your personal email. The reason you're changing your email on your track account is so that I can log into your account at any time without having to call you in the middle of the night that they sent a code to your email, please send it to me. No. So I take full charge of your application for 3 months, and we promise a minimum of 100 applications in the space of 3 months, and we give you 3 interview preps. So as you get interviews, because it is not one job role that you're applying for. So for maybe you're applying for 2, you're focusing on 2 roles or 3 roles, we give you interview prep. So when you're called for interview in the space of that 3 months, we prepare you. We call it our hot seat session. We prepare you. We have different people. You may not be me. So in case you are too familiar with me and you're like, it's Rachel that is talking, it will be totally new people. There will be one person that is already familiar with the NHS system that works within the NHS on that interview session. There will also be somebody who is HR consultant, who knows what HR managers are looking out for. So these are the things we do in the Done For You services. And that one is 1,005, and you can pay 3 times. So we keep applying for you back to back, back to back, back to back, till you start securing interviews. And it's a 3-month contract. I hope I have made that clear. So of course I have other little offers. Rachel, see, I just want you to review my CV. Yeah, we have those offers for £30, review your CV. You want to just use it basically to apply for jobs on Indeed and all that. We do all of that. And for those who come on board on our fast track offer, we also have a community where you put you so that you can, relate with people of like minds. And said 1.5. Yes, now, hey, somebody is working for you 3 months, sitting for hours applying. It's a full-time job. Interview prep offer. Interview prep offer. You see this interview prep. The reason why I'm saying is that Halimat, can you unmute your mic? Susie or Gagbe said it's a lot of commitments. Yes, it's a lot of commitments. What do you mean by unmute your mic and explain what you mean? Okay. Where you are is noisy, no problem. Susie, what do you mean by it's a lot of commitment?
Okay, I was just trying to respond to what she said, that it's a lot, but considering the fact that it's going to last for 3 months, and then you can equally pay instrumentally,
Yeah,
meaning
you
you are not
prefer.
under pressure to do it.
Yeah.
And there's results. So most times it's the result that you look out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to tell her that it's a lot of commitment from the people's part as well. Because sometimes you might get it very cheap, at the end of the day, you don't get anything out of it, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Before. So that's what I was just trying to say. Sorry, a quick one. Now that my mic is unmuted, let me just. So basically, if you get to see these NHS applications, just recently I'm having doing applications there. Most of their job they don't really say whether they sponsor or they don't sponsor. You see, we can only take people that have up to a year on their visa, where we'll transit them from band 2 to band 3.
Okay.
It's always like that. So in that case, you are not even sure if these people are sponsoring or they are not sponsoring. So how do you know NHS that sponsors when they don't state it categorically there, but they just say we will transit you to higher role, maybe from band 2 to band 3, but we just need you to have certain months, valid months in your visa before we can accept you.
Okay, please give me a second. So first of all, right, you really cannot do anything about what the particular trust has put in place. Because if we are going to be fair, they probably were not like that before too. It was the rush. And when you are in HR, when you have an organization, you are the employer,
Yeah.
and you want to employ just one person, over 3,000 people have applied. Eventually, even after shortlisting, and you eventually got maybe about 20 people to come for interview,
Mhm.
the people you finally picked, because it cost NHS money to even advertise the job.
Yeah.
It cost them money to invite you for interview. It cost them money to set up, because the people that are interviewing you is not for free,
That's not.
and they're consultants, so they're not getting paid £12 per hour.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? So it costs them money, and so it is disheartening after you get the job and they now start all the reference processes, onboarding process, and they now see a surge of all the people that they eventually got are people who don't have time on their visa, and they have put them under pressure. And because NHS also works with budgets,
Yeah.
so that's why some trusts have decided, you know what, let us add this thing to our advert from the beginning, so that nobody comes, and so that we don't keep going through all these ordeals.
Mhm.
So the only thing you can do when you see that, you move.
Okay.
If you don't have up to 1 year on your visa,
Mhm.
don't waste your time. That's one of the strategies I taught the people that paid for the workshop. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, just move on.
Then there's a strategy I put them through on how to first shortlist. Use 2, 3, 4 days to shortlist the links you want to apply to. It may look like a waste of time, but at the end of the day, you are guided.
Mm.
Yesterday, I showed them 2 different track accounts. One account has 124 applications, only one interview ever for 2 years. So you will know that that one interview was sheer luck.
Yeah.
And there was another account that had only 32 applications, 5 offers, 2 withdrawals, and those withdrawals were that, oh, he got the job, but for one reason or the other, they couldn't sponsor, so they had to. So that's like 7 offers in just 32 applications, because he's used the right strategy. So sometimes when I'm talking to the people that I work with, I taught this stay framework in the free class on Saturday. I created this framework myself, and I said it, I boldly say it till tomorrow. If you go to any NHS class, because this group is not everybody here that is here because they're looking for jobs. Some of them are here to spy. They say, okay, how is she doing at home? So if you go anywhere and you hear the stay framework, STALY, they copied it from Rachael.
ST what?
STAY.
Stay.
Yeah. They
Wow.
copied it from me, because that is the same work, the framework that I've used in the
That's
past 3
working.
years that is working. I sat down with God gave me the wisdom to crack the code of this thing. I don't lay claim to it. It's God that blessed me with,
Yeah.
and I have gotten results back to back to
Super.
back. So you may need a clear strategy on how to go about your applications.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Uh, Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Han.
Yeah, it's not that I was saying 1.5 is much as the other person as Susie has said. But thing is that, for some of us we are students working 20 hours. I don't even earn 1,000 a month. So even if I want to pay
Han,
for, if I want to pay
you think of
installment,
the
in
pay school fee?
installment three, if I pay
Mm-hmm.
500, how would I pay for rent? How will I eat? So it's because of that situation. That's why I say 1.5. So it's not as if I'm saying it's much.
No problem. No problem. Thank you. So, so for the person asking if I offer a mock interview, yes, I offer mock interview for £50. So we take you through that £50. It can take 1 hour. It can take 90 minutes. So we take you through interview questions, similar interview questions, even if it is civil service roles, even if it's not NHS. Yes, we take you through that section. We give you personalized feedback. And there's something called the STAR method, STAR, how you can actually use the STAR method. And one thing I tell you ahead of time is show up the way you will show up when you are going for NHS, when you are going for the NHS interview. Show up the way you show up. Don't say, oh, it's just mock. That's a mistake many people make. Oh, it's just mock interview. I've seen people who have done mock interviews, who have showed up in mock interviews, and they just go casual. And I'm like, hey, uncle, do you know we are joking? Do you think we are joking here? Is this how you show up on the day? If you don't dress up the way you will dress up when you're going, do you think that I'll be able to assess how you look? So even though we think that, oh, in this country, people just dress anyhow, they don't. Oh, why do you think that you would go to rent an apart? You want to go and rent an apartment, and the agent that is coming to take you around is putting on suits using tie? Can somebody unmute and attest to what I'm saying?
That's true. It's true.
Yeah, they don't take their dressing seriously. There was once my husband showed up somehow for an interview because he didn't plan that interview. He was already on his way somewhere. And it's a lot. If he has to come back home to come and change, it would take 2 hours. There wasn't time. So he just decided, you know what, I'll just show up as I am. He didn't wear his shoe properly, put on his trousers. That is the first time ever in the history of interviews that he failed. By the time they called him, because they could not categorically tell him, oh, guy, you weren't looking good, they just gave the response the lady gave him as the reason why he didn't succeed at that interview. He now said, no, I think you're mistaking me for someone else. Because that was one interview where they had breakout session. That interview was not, sometimes this is one interview that you did not expect to be gege, that will now be something you have never experienced before. That was the first time you would experience breakout session at interview. So after the regular panel, they ask you questions, blah, blah, blah. They now had a breakout session where they have like three other people that came for interview. They give you people breakout sessions, and now somebody is there to observe, and they tell you to role play, give you a particular situation that happened, and they tell you to role play. And he did excellently well. And so by the time he said, this, that, and I said, oh, yeah, I mistook you for someone else. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, I may not be able to tell you why due to data protection, due to clinical. I'm sorry, but it's unfortunate. You did well, honestly, but we're sorry. Because my husband said, I know this is why they didn't take me for this job. And that was, my husband is the type of person that is, if there's somebody that is prim and proper with dressing, but that day, it was like, I told him, it's better you don't go for this interview. But if I was, the worst that can happen. And it did. And we were not surprised when they said it didn't succeed. I make no boast. That's the first time it would we would be told that he didn't succeed at an interview within the NHS. So dressing also matters. These are things I take people through. Any other question? You said, what's my cost to construct a CV and supporting statements? This is practically the one I talked about for 1.5. Go through your CV, give you CV review, work on your track account, and also apply for 2 job roles. Tony Lawson, I can't see your question. No.
I can see a question. She mentioned, are you saying we don't have to, if we don't have up to a year, we shouldn't apply? So that was what she asked initially.
No. What I'm saying, what Susie asks is that some NHS trusts use that as a condition. So what I explained is that the reason they use that as a condition is because probably experiences they have had in the past. Of course, I've seen people who got a job 5 days to the end of their visa. Miracle no dey tire Jesus. So don't worry, I'm a Jesus girl. In case I'm saying too much Jesus, bear with me. I'm a Jesus girl. I used to loud him everywhere I go. So, yeah, Tony is a Jesus girl. Yes, sir. Yeah. Somebody asked the question now. What was that question? What advice can you give for those that have less than 1 year on their visa? Susie, thank you. The advice I would give for those who have less than 1 year on their visa, I like to say things as it is. Hmm? Not because I want you to come and pay Rachel, but because I like to be very plain. If you have less than 1 year on your visa, you need the right strategy. If you have been trying for God knows how long that you have been in the country, except if these 8 months you're talking about is on student visa, but I'm guessing it's not student visa. You are probably already on post-study visa. So if that is your situation, that means whatever strategy you have used from the day you entered into the country till now has kept you where you are. I'm not judging. We are only trying to put our cards on the table. No matter how you view it, it shows you need a change of strategy as fast as possible. And you set up what I call the 90-day strategy. That was what I took the people in the paid workshop through. You set up a proper 90-day strategy. This 90-day strategy will include your plan A, plan B, plan C, especially because of how porous, would I say how porous, how serious and terrible the NHS government is making immigration seem for people now. So you really need to have a clear strategy. Okay, my plan A, I need to enter into NHS as soon as possible. If you have been applying yourself before and it's not working, pay for DFY. I'm not saying this because I want you to pay me by force. I had a friend in similar situation. As at then, I had not even started DFY services. In all honesty, she was the one that opened my eyes to say that, Rachel, this thing where you do for people, this thing you do for people and you just, charge a token, £100, this, that. People are struggling. You have the answer. People are struggling and they don't have time. And the person who was even helping her was not even in the UK. This person doesn't understand the system of the UK. This man was in America. And she paid that, you know what, you just be looking for job for me while I focus on how I'm going to make money for my plan B and plan C. Because you cannot fully devote yourself to this looking for this thing. And you also want to do jama. Because so if, for example, you want to try global talent visa, it's not cheap. It doesn't come cheap. The cocoa at the end of the day is settlement. And whatever route you want to use to settle right now, if you don't get a job within the NHS, is not cheap. So I tell people, map out a clear strategy and run with it. You know, there's this thing that we all, including me, we are all guilty of it. The way our society was, most of the people here are from Nigeria. In Nigeria, the culture shock that happened when we entered countries like UK, US is how to quantify and value time with how to put value to time. And so that is why when you employ an artisan and they say they just want to help you check why the water in your tap is leaking and they tell you to pay 200 pounds, you're like, something that we call Kabiru and give him 1,000 naira. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it is actually always very hard sometimes to put ourselves in the situation where we are like, let me pay this person to take this burden off me. Let me trust this person to take this body off me while I'm able to focus on how I can raise money for other pathway because going back home is not an option. No. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So what the advice I can give you right now is you need a strategy. Whatever strategy works for you, even if it's not DFY, if it means you paying somebody to do a total overhaul, if it means you paying for a one-on-one session to say, this is where I am. As in, I'm trying to be naked in front of you now. This is me. This is my situation. How can I move from point A to point, and get my settlement once and for all? You need the right strategy. I think I've talked too much on that. But let me yes. Is a job in NHS a guarantee for a stay? If the job is giving you visa sponsorship, what else? Is your settlement pathway now? But when you say guarantee, it's not a guarantee that they will approve your visa. Home office may have one or two reasons why they are not approving your visa. And now I've seen people who even come and say, despite are getting job within the NHS, when it was time, they did not approve visa for their dependents, blah, 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 because there are many things that the Home Office is coming up with now that they are not putting in the general news because they know that it will start dragging, people will start going to court. So it's experiences of people who have been applying back to back and instances we have seen that has made us say, oh, this is the method they are using now. This is the method they are using now. But of course, if you get a job within the NHS and they confirm to you at the interview stage that they are able to sponsor, and we have had experiences where they say yes, we can sponsor, but because they are the people interviewing you are the managers of maybe the ward where you're going to work. They are not, it's after you have been successful that they transfer your file to HR. So it is HR that will still now give you the final word whether they will sponsor or not. So like I told the people in my paid class, one of the ways you may need to call ahead. You may need to ask before you even start applying that, please, you people sponsor. There's a lot of process, but if you go through the strategy, definitely you would be getting closer to your goal. Yeah, Adeyemi said post-study visa. Yeah, I think I already used it as an example. Yes. Okay, any other question? Any other question? Leave me at the altar with my father. So can we call it a day now? We have 10 minutes more to the end of this session. Have I been able to answer everybody's question? And thank you. Initially I thought Han was a man. I even thought it was Chinese name or Asian. Oh, thank you so much for your time. If you need some further clarification, you can drop a message for me Even if I don't respond immediately, I'll definitely get back to you. I think in the absence of any other question, we can call it a night. And if you're ready to come on board on any of the services that I'm offering, no problem. My YouTube, funny enough, the videos I have on my YouTube, I just started streaming some of these webinars to it. I've not really started creating content, but some of the webinars are already going on there. So like this night's on now, I think I'm recording it on YouTube too. Yes, you said you'll be needing the referral for MVQ. Yes, just remind me on WhatsApp and I'm going to send it to you. Even if I don't respond now, because once I leave here now, I'm going to attend to my children, but I'll definitely come back to your message. You're welcome, Adiyemi. You're welcome, Bisola. You can also drop messages on the group. Tony Lawson, okay, yeah, I'll be expecting your message. Don't worry, I'll drop the link to the YouTube on the WhatsApp so that you can follow me. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I hope I was able to answer all your questions. I hope I was able to do justice to them. And the person who asked about interviews, is she still here? Is she still here? Oh, thank you. Who was that person who asked me about interviews? I think it's Halima. I think she has left. Okay, so what I wanted to say, since she's not here, but I know other people may also benefit from it. Sometimes you go for interviews and it doesn't pull through. The truth is, there are loads of people now within the NHS that have entered maybe when they were students or for some reason, even they are not students, but they are just doing part-time and hoping that NHS will take them in fully. So when those kind of people come for interview at the same time with you, no matter how good you were at that interview, they would rather take somebody who already has an understanding of the NHS system. So sometimes it's not actually that you are doing anything wrong. It's just unfortunate. And so even when you call them ahead to ask whether they sponsor before you go for that interview, the truth is, um, it's not as if they lied to you, but there will just always be a better person. And so that is why I tell people, give it your best shot. Sometimes, the £50 you will pay somebody for an interview prep will go a long way to save you some headache. Step into the room with confidence. Step into the room and give it your all. Give it your all. See it as if it's a one-time opportunity. Give it your best shot. And if they still say, oh, they preferred someone else, you'll be certain that you tried your best. And another thing, when you receive such calls and they say, unfortunately, they are going with someone else, don't just let it go. Push further. Ask them why. That you would like to learn from your mistakes. Go ahead and ask them why. And how can you do better? I'm just trying to, we have 4 more minutes. I don't want to, because we said we are ending by 8:30, so I want to stay by my word. It's not yet 8:30. We have 4 minutes more. So in case you want to unmute your mic and still ask a question, somebody just came in. Olatunde, you're very early. Oh. We have 4 minutes more. So if you have a question, quickly unmute your mic and ask. Meet me at the altar with my father.
I have a question.
Okay.
At what stage is it advisable to ask NHS recruiter if they sponsor, if in the application it's not stated clearly if they sponsor or they don't sponsor? At what stage?
Most times it's not even stated that they sponsor.
Yeah.
And even when they write it there that, oh, we offer visa sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
You see that long
Right.
work history, that's a long write-up when you want to apply for a job.
Yeah.
Most times they are generic.
Yeah.
Most times it's the templates they have been using for the past 5 years. They are just copying and pasting.
True. Yeah.
Do you understand? So the best time is before you start your application. It's part of the strategy that I teach. Pick their phone number and call.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to affect you whether they'll call you or they won't call you. Pick their phone, pick your phone and call them. In this house we call, oh, hey, we keep calling so that we don't just waste our time, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, we call, and so you see some of them during the. I don't know if you were in that free session on Saturday when I, gave my husband the mic to talk, and he reminded me of one interview that he went for in, was this, sorry, Luton. He got the job. Oh. They were happy. Yeah, it was even a band four. That was, I think, 2 years ago. It was even a band four role. He was so excited. And they had even started onboarding. They had booked
Wow.
for medicals, everything. And it just kept dragging. We kept waiting. Oh, yeah, when is resumption date? At the point, we saw that the HR assistant that was sending him emails was now copying another person. You will know it was a case of, "Mm, it's not me that will tell this guy this kind of thing, no." And because my husband is a jovial person, in fact, the guy who called him to spread the news, I just remember that now, actually first pranked him. He called on a Sunday. Oh, yeah, mate. You were so good. We'd love to have you on our team. You got the job. HR will reach out to you tomorrow. I think, imagine you went through all of that, and after months, they now tell you, actually, um, the HR
So,
manager had to come up and open up to my husband. Somebody, this person has never met my husband before, but because she felt really bad,
yeah.
I had to say, I'm sure you understand politics, the way it works with the government. They are not releasing funds and they want them to do magic. She really opened up a lot. I think, see, when God puts some things in your hand, it gives you opportunity to have some privileged information that you don't know why this person is telling you some things.
Mm-hmm.
Especially a stranger that has not even met you, that
Yes.
doesn't have any reason to open up to you. I'm
Yeah.
really saying a lot of things. Unfortunately, as it is, if you notice, I've been copying different people in the email because I didn't want to have to be the one to break this news to you. But I know we told you that we only sponsor from Band 4, but unfortunately, because of the funding, they said we should just move up the people who are already in-house to
So,
that role. It was
wow.
devastating. It was painful. That would have
Yeah.
been his first NHS job. It was painful.
I can imagine.
In fact, they wanted him so bad that they said, you know what, we are willing to bring you on board for 20 hours. But the distance was much because if he had taken that job, we would have relocated.
Oh,
But the distance was so much.
okay.
So he just looked at it that it's not worth it. So at least so far now, I think there are 3 NHS jobs he has turned down. They said, you know what, okay, we are willing to even try to make your offer flexible in a way that that, so that she said she was certain that within the next few months again, they don't have option because they are really short-staffed. That was not even a healthcare assistant role.
Wow.
That was in 2020. I think towards the end of 2023 or so, was it 2020, early 2024? It was
Okay.
painful.
It is. Wow. Just like that.
You said, why is it that NHS don't switch visa easily? They do. They do. You've not just been lucky. They do. They switch visas. They switch visas.
Oh, oh.
If
Can
you're a
you hear?
candidate that they love, they switch visas. Gloria,
Yes, can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, like I've tried to apply, because I'm already on skilled visa with a
Mm,
care. I've tried, but when it gets to a stage where they said, I applied, then they asked, are you already on a visa, blah, blah, blah. I said,
mm-hmm.
yes. They said, no, they can't continue with the application.
Okay, the reason why that is usually the first page before you even start the application fully, right?
Yeah,
Now, just like I said earlier, those kind of preparatory questions,
yeah,
because what have the maybe the reason why you have also seen this happen back to back is because maybe you're focusing on a particular NHS trust.
okay,
Yeah. So some NHS trust. So let's say, for example, you live around Newcastle. So you have really been applying to Newcastle NHS trust. So
yeah.
if that is their own process, that's what you keep seeing.
Oh,
It doesn't mean that's what other NHS trust does. So, and sometimes they put that up because maybe that role would require that you work 20 hours. And they, how do I put it now? Maybe they don't have sponsorship for that role.
okay.
And because you're already on skilled worker visa, you can't come on board full time. So they are saving you the stress of going through the full application process and still getting, unfortunately.
Oh,
So the same response they gave you is the same response they would have given a student. If
oh,
someone had picked them a student,
yes.
that's the same response they would have given that person because a student is restricted to only 20 hours. But if you have picked, oh, I'm on global talent visa or I'm on postgraduate visa, you probably would have been able to pull through because they know that with your visa, you are able to work without asking for sponsorship. So
Oh, okay.
it's probably it's a way of also saying we do not sponsor.
So,
Yeah.
uh,
But visa switch, they do it well because they even prefer people who have experience.
okay.
They do visa switch well. Okay, in the absence of any other question, we have used 4 minutes after, and I promised my people that today I'm not going to talk for 3 hours because I've been talking since last week Saturday. It has been from one session to the other. Since the only day I did not talk much was on Sunday because I decided not to talk to anybody. But from Tuesday, is it that one-on-one session? Then Wednesday, the workshop, instead of 90 minutes, the earliest we finished was 2.5 hours. It's been draining.
So
And
is
so
it,
when I said I wanted to do free Q&A today, my husband sent me a message that, why did you say this? Because it's at work. My friend called and said, Rachel, you will not rest me. Should we be? But I just felt the questions in the group were overwhelming, and it's best because typing sometimes can be tiring, and there's a way I would explain to you better when I'm talking than when I'm typing and saying no, yes.
okay. So is it your one-on-one session is 150? Is it the one of 150
No, no.
or is it 5?
My one-on-one session is 59.
Okay, 59.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. The one of 150 is where you have one-on-one, and I also go through your track account. I do a CV review. I apply for 2 different job roles and set a template for you that makes application faster. And I teach you during the one-on-one session how you will go through your applications to be sure you're applying the right way. And most of the time, if you're applying back to back, I can almost guarantee that within your first 60 applications, you would get 2 interviews. And I don't promise that you will get interview in every 5 applications because I'll be lying. The pool of people looking for NHS job, they are much. I won't sweet talk you because I want you to pay me. No. No, that's the real, you know. It's well. But definitely you will get interviews. That one, I know. Except village people at work, and we use prayer to kill them off. Hmm. Mm. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, though. That your name is Gloria, so I'm guessing you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
because at times you're doing the right thing,
Yeah, well,
but the devil there's just one error
yeah,
somewhere you
exactly.
couldn't have noticed. Imagine a client that had gone to put Nigeria as his country of residence and he didn't know for 2 years
Oh my God.
till his visa was about to expire.
Really?
So sometimes when you're paying for resources or when you sense that the Spirit of God is moving you to a particular person, that this person can help you, sometimes it's not the money, but because we are in a world where bills are needed to be paid, this person cannot work for free. Do you get what I'm saying? So sometimes you are paying, but the money you are paying is to help you to release your destiny sometimes. Is to help you to this is not church, so I think I'm already going into spiritual matters.
It's okay. It's good to go into spiritual too. I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah.
Said when we started, I'm a Jesus girl. So every application, I mean, I lay hands on it. Oh God, it's you that gave me these secrets. And so when people come to me, they must get results.
Amen.
And as we round up, I'm going to say this concerning everybody that is looking up to God. Whether you are here, you're a Christian or a Muslim, we are all God's children. Concerning everybody that is here, you're frustrated. Not everybody here right now is going through the same thing or the same situation. Everybody has peculiar situations and it is frustrating. The pain is real. But I pray that the God that comforts, the God that illuminates and sheds light on things, will shed light on your matter. And He will make a way of escape for you. You will not have to go back home to nothing in the name of Jesus. And even if God is saying your place is not in the UK, I want you to go home, He would show you why, and you will not regret having to go back home. In the name of Jesus, I pray because you have come into my meeting today, God will meet you at the point of your need. Whether you pay Rachel or you don't pay Rachel, you would have a reason to come back to say, Rachel, thank you. Thank you for allowing God to use you. Not thank you because Rachel is the God. No. But I prophesy to somebody here today that God will make a way for you. God will open doors for you in this land. You will not suffer in vain. Relocation is not easy. Leaving your motherland is not easy. And God will make a way for you where there seems to be no way. In the name of Jesus. Thank you
Amen.
for your time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
I
Thank-
am-
I'm going to shut you up for the one section.
no problem. No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Bye. So, like I said, I may not respond immediately, but I'll definitely respond before I sleep.
Sarah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, see your face. Are you just joining?
I joined since 7:30.
You now kept quiet,
What will I do now? I'm
but did I
tired,
answer your questions?
but at least I'm happy.
Thank God.
All right, thank you.
Your name is powerful, oh,
Yeah, it is.
very powerful. I hope you have a Mary in your life.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for your time. Thanks for everything, the encouragement.
You're welcome.
All right, now we'll reach
All
out to
right.
you one of these days.
No problem. And please, if you have any review, drop them in the group.
Okay.
If you have any feedback, you want to say thank you, please help me just drop it in the group too.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Good night.
Thanks.
Elizabeth, you are beautiful. See your gut teeth. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. You're beautiful too.
Thank you too.
All right.
Why is it that it's so hard to press the end button? Oh yeah, good night.